Okay, here we are. We're ready to go. Where are we going to go today?
Well, guys, today we have a very special trip to go on.
Yeah?
Yeah, very special trip because we're going to do something different.
Yeah?
We're going to go back, 5 billion years in time.
5 billion years?
Being Magic Star travelers and having imagination with us makes it possible for us to do that. And we have our little spaceship, so we can't get hurt or anything. And we're going to go back 5 billion years to see how Earth began and how life started on Earth. And then, because we're Magic Space Travelers, we'll be able to go all the way from the beginning of time to today.
Wow.
Are you ready?
Hey, let's hold on to our seatbelts. We're going to go through 5 million years.
5 billion years.
Yeah, 5 billion years in only a short time. Ready? Hold on.
See now, the water that was so hot, it's vaporizing now, and it's condensing and forming oceans. Before that was just steam from the molten lava.
Wow.
And the Earth is cooling all over. And oceans are being created. You know, there's more water on Earth than there is land.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then there were waves, and there was differences in temperature causing it, and there were tidal waves and all kinds of things while the Earth was... You know what it's like, huh? It's like, did you ever watch your mom make soup or porridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know how when it gets hot, it starts bubbling all over, and the shape is kind of strange, and it goes... Blub, 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 blub.
How does it go?
It goes... Blub, 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 blub.
Yeah?
Well, that's what was happening to the Earth. It's bubbling all over and then cooling off, and when it cools off, it settles down, just like the soups.
Oh.
See, the Earth is going through hot changes, cold, hot, cold.
The Earth was playing hot and cold.
Yes, it was.
Now, hey, wait a second. Now it's snow. Before it's hot. That's dumb. This Earth is dumb. First it's hot, then it's cold, then it's hot, then it's cold. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Dum-da-dum-dum.
When I'm calling you.
Hi, imagination. What did we do this time?
Well, you didn't do anything, but I have to explain to you about all living things. Because Earth is a living thing. You see, when children grow up, they change. Well, Earth is the same way, and as it gets older, it also changes. So in the beginning, it may be one way, and then it changes, just like people do, and plants do, and doggies do, and everything else that lives. Does that make sense? Do you understand?
I do. So do I. Thanks a lot, imagination. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, now we understand.
Now, mountains of ice called glaciers are forming, and they move across the land. And slowly, the Earth got into what they call the Ice Age, where everything was covered with ice. And it covered mountains and valleys, and all parts of the Earth that was not just water became icy.
And so that's how the Earth began. First it was molten lava and very, very hot. And then it was Ice Age and very, very cold.
That's right. And finally it began to settle down. And when it began to settle down, we'll see what goes on then. And we'll settle down in just a minute or two. So, are you ready now to take a little trip? And then when we come back, we'll see how the Earth was.
Hey, this is fascinating, how we can see all these things happen thousands of years, millions of years, billions of years ago. And you stay with us and see it, because this is really interesting. I'm not going to move from the spot.
We're going to go.
I'll move.
So first we started with the molten lava, and then we went into the Ice Age.
Yeah?
Yeah. And let's go back to the Ice Age so we don't miss anything and see how the Earth looked then and what was going on.
Okay. Ice Age coming up.
Now it's about 8,000 years ago.
Oh, contemporary.
Yeah. The ice is melting and the glaciers are retreating to the poles, the North Pole and the South Pole.
Oh, I see.
The land is beginning to come through the ice as the ice melts and the snow melts. And the mountains and the valleys and the land all begin to show. But there's still no life on Earth. And as the ice and the water start coming We have spectacular waterfalls as the water starts. Look, there's a rainbow. As the water starts going down the mountain slopes and the hills and into the valleys and into what becomes the oceans and the lakes and the rivers and the streams
And the ponds and the pools and the saunas.
and no, there was no saunas.
No saunas, no. They really were restricted.
Yeah, they were restricted.
This is very interesting. Can we see more about that?
Oh, certainly. Let's go see some more.
Very interesting.
So we're back in time about 500,000 years.
Imagination is doing this?
Of course, imagination does it all. Now, see, some of the ice is gone, and now the first trees and flowers and branches begin to grow, and the waters begin to flow, and still, there's no living being on Earth. And the flowing water continually reshapes the Earth and causes new paths, like the Grand Canyon. This is the Grand Canyon in the United States. And this is thousands of years of water eroding and making different paths through the mountains. And it's a process that began 2 billion years ago.
That's a long time, yeah. And it's still standing.
The Grand Canyon, absolutely. And then the rains came.
And it's gonna rain. Yep, it's gonna rain. Oh, it's gonna rain. Yes, it's gonna rain. I think that's enough of that. Thank you.
And the rain coming down from the clouds, hitting the earth, saturating parts of the earth, making the green areas even more fertile. Look at all the different kinds of trees and branches growing. The rain's poured.
It's a good thing we're locked in here. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it rained 40 days and 40 nights. What do you think of that?
40 days and... Wait a second. Isn't that the story about Noah when it rained 40 days and 40 nights?
You know what I think, though?
Yeah?
I think maybe then, because everything was so different than it is now, that days and nights were different than what we know days and nights as. And maybe a day was a whole year.
Do you think
Then-
so?
But I'm not always sure, but maybe that could be it. Maybe that's why it rains so much.
Thanks, imagination. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's see some more about it now. What's going on down there?
All right, now, are you watching very carefully?
Yeah, I am.
So the earth is being shaped by the erosion caused by the water rolling around, running past, and finding its level. And now life has begun. There are fishes.
Under the water.
Of course the fish is under the water. And more complex animals are beginning to form. Some of them come from the water and go onto the land. Some begin on the land and go into the water.
Some can't make up their minds where they go.
Well, it takes time for evolution to help them.
What's that?
Time. Time for evolution, for them to find the place that they belong. Turtles and snakes, and you know, we've seen alligators and crocodiles, and they are all kinds of varieties of animals and reptiles and mammals like the seals and the whales. And here's a seal. And it began many, 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 many years ago before there was any human beings anywhere.
Yeah,
And that's what started life on Earth. And so some of the life... Here's some more fish coming from the sea, and more... Some of the animals settled on the land, some on the sea. Some were able to go both places. See, there's some of the animals settling on the land.
and still the waters came.
And still the waters came, yes.
And these are crocodiles.
Remember? They came from water, and reptiles started coming out of the water now. Reptiles and alligators and crocodiles. and new shapes and forms, and they began to adapt to what was on Earth, the kind of food around, and the water around, and the other animals around, began to change their own form and their own shape and their own colors to fit whatever was around them.
And that's some of the camouflage we see on animals.
And it's just terrific, yeah, because, you know, that's when nature began to decide which way things should go and what the animals should look like and how they should be. And mammals began to evolve. Nice to fool Mother Nature. All right, now that we've cleared that up, let's see where we are in the evolution of Earth and man and animals now. Now, there's a koala bear. Among all the other animals who were evolving, koala bears were. And so were the birds and the parrots and the more fishes and more varieties of land animals. And monkeys.
Ostriches.
Hey, that's a peacock.
A seagull.
Look at all the different kinds of birds, different shapes and sizes, and all of them beginning to find their niche, their place to be in the earth. And insects and bugs and ants and reptiles.
Yeah, them too.
All of them began in the early stages of the life on the earth.
Wow.
But there was still no man.
And no women.
And no children. Nope, because human beings hadn't been on earth yet.
No.
Nowhere. Just now beginning the animals.
Yeah.
Want to see some more of the animals?
Yeah, let's see what else is there.
Of course, there's different kinds of plants and flowers. And trees were beginning to grow. And so everywhere you went, there was beautiful green flowers and trees and buds and animals and birds and fishes. All of them. And still
no mankind.
Still no mankind. That's right. Here's some of the flowers you can see again. There's a water lily. It's pretty, isn't it?
It certainly is. Look, can we land on it?
Here's another one we could land on.
Look, let's make sure there's no bees around.
This is really oh, look at this one. Let's go right in the middle of it. Can we do that? Look at that. Wow. Let's see some trees now. Let's go all the way up to the top.
Hey, wow, this is high. Let's get down a little bit. That was too high. I got scared.
And there were trees and jungles, and of course that's where the animals were beginning to live.
What's that?
It's a plant for the different areas in the world. Let's go see a jungle now, all right? Shall we see a deep...
Hey, look, they got things growing on it.
Well, sure, because along with everything else, that's when some of the fruits began to grow. Maybe apples and pomegranates and bananas and all the fruits that the animals needed to sustain themselves in the jungle started to grow. And the jungles anchored the soil, and they protected the erosion and protected the animals, and it began to be a home for everybody and everything that was living on Earth.
Wow. This is happening so fast, I don't know if I'm taking it all in. Maybe we could do it in slow motion.
And there's monkeys, see that? There's monkeys, the beginnings of mankind.
Yeah, I don't know too many men who can do that now.
No, but I don't know too many monkeys who, or minkies, as they say.
Yeah?
Too many monkeys who go to work every day either.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see if we can get to the present time now. Well, here we are to the present time.
Wow, that was some trip.
How'd you like to see, how did you like seeing?
Oh, you're so excited you can't control yourself.
Yeah, how'd you like seeing the beginning of Earth?
I never understood that it grew like that there was the molten lava, and then the ice age, and then the flowers and the branches, and then the fish,
and then the large animals, and we'll come back and see more about the beginnings of Earth another time. Bye, everybody. Come see it again. This is really interesting.